a few season preview news articles and things we need to have a look at. So, excuse me, players inducted to the North Shore United overall best 11 squad. So pretty much this is the best 11. Bennett in goal, Dunn as right fullback, Mitchell and Hearn in the middle with Edge on the left, Kangrid on the right with Sillars and Cisse in the middle of midfield, and Nodal on the left. Up front, the Division 1 championship winning front pairing that will go down in history, Cameron and Nicky Sudgen. That's pretty good. Yeah. So they were inducted into the best 11, and we're going to some season rewards here. So North Shore United season awards, fans player of the season. Kashok and Hare, Kangaroo, 43% of the fans vote. Tim Rule with 24% and Lopez with 20%. I'm a bit surprised to see Suggy wasn't there in the end. But that's okay. That's the team of the season in front as well. So Bennett, Dunn, Mitchell, Lees, Grieve, Kinrad, Cisse, Salaz, Lopez, Rule, and Suggy. Pretty much you could name that with your eyes closed. Goal of the season, of course, was Nicky Sudgen versus Bay Olympic. Let's have a bit of a stroll down memory lane, shall we, and see what this goal was all about. Pretty impressive, not a bad looking goal. Signing of the season, Callum Lees, and the young player of the season is Kangrid. Obviously, these are a few of those players who are actually out on loan to us, which is Grieve, Dunn, and Kangrid. Dunn, Kangrid, and Rule. So I'm hoping to get their loans extended. Let's have a look at some of the North Shore United stats here. So top goal scorer, Nicky Sudgen, 12 goals from about 20 games. That's not too bad. He kicked on towards the end of the season, and that's what made the difference, I believe, for this year. Highest average rating, Kangrid at 7.69. Most assists, again, Kangrid with 11 assists. Best pass completion, Nicky Sudgen, 82% from a poacher. So, yeah, I think we could hopefully, I would like to see a lot more of the midfielders probably doing stuff there. Most player of the match awards, Kangrid, 8 player of the match awards. Now, I believe he may have picked up a NZRL Premier Division record for that, for most player of the match awards. We will see. Most yellow cards was Paul Dunn and Tom Webb with 2 each. No red cards. Really awesome disciplinary season. Excellent. And the North Shore United review, just some quotes here. Scarce few pundits will have been brave enough to pluck North Shore from the mid-table obscurity in pre-season and mark them out for bigger and better things, but Shore did exactly that, surprising everyone as a march to a quite remarkable league title success. It's a superb season for Shore, who, aside from a short spell early in the season around November, when they dropped to third, consistently performed above expectations and were able to become most unlikely title winners. Well, you can see down here, us, you know, we were hovering second, and we just pushed on towards the end of the season here with just a real good, and that kind of coincided with Suggy finding a lot of goal scoring opportunities. So, you know, it kind of makes sense there. Match of the season was a 4-0 winner against Onehunga Sports, and the moment to forget was a 2-0 loss to Eastern Suburbs. So that was very early on in the season. Average attendance was 463. That's 46% full. And total players used was 22nd. So what we'll do is, while we're here, let's kick into the NRFL Premier Division and let's just have a look at some of the stats, shall we? I believe that's over and done with. So if we just go to some of the team overall stats here. No. So if we look at some of the team stats, average possession, you know, we're fifth. I mean, we played a lot of the early game season as a normal tactic of mixed along, you know, direct passing. We became a little bit more position-based towards the end, coinciding with our little run of form there. So 50%, that's not too bad. Penalties taken, doesn't really matter. Headers won. So we're at the top of the league for most headers won, which is 61%. As again, disciplinary for yellow cards, we were 10th with only 8 yellow cards for the season, no red cards. Had the best form just going through the end of the season with just home form undefeated there, and a little slip up there in our away form. Games run in a row. North Shore United, 9 games won in a row. Wow. Okay. Menyerera, games lost in a row. 4 lost in a row. We actually didn't lose any games in a row. Well, I don't think that's right. I'll have to look. I'm sure we lost 2. Maybe it's just 2 or 3 live comms. Most goals scored in a row. North Shore United, 16 goals scored in a row, with 9 wins in a row. 9 games without a loss. So games without losing, top of the pops, 9 games. Games without winning, Bay Olympic, 15 games. Games without conceding, we held this record for a wee while, I believe. But games without conceding, only Hunger Sports with 2 games there to the end of it. So in terms of goals, we had the second most goals, 45 goals from 22 matches. And as stated in a few of the media reports about a lot of goals coming from set pieces like corners, there we go. That's why 18% of our crosses were completed. I guess that's quite low, but for the division, it's the highest there. So in 22 matches. So yeah. Crosses completed 167, so that's really the reflection there. 167 crosses completed, so that equaled the 18%. Goals from corners, we were second equal on 5. Goals from direct free kicks, surprisingly second equal. Shots on target, North Shore United 44% shots on target ratio. We came second overall, though, over 130 shots on target. Eastern Suburbs scoring a lot more, 166. Let's just look at some of the attendances here. So average attendance for us was 10th, so 463. So you can see there's teams there pushing 600, and that's only at 22% completion. So, I mean, North Shore, we had a 46% completion, and we only managed 463. So I'm hoping next season we'll see some slight improvements on that, because we do have the capacity. We had 1 stadium sellout. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty good. Finances, net transfer spend. So we did spend a fair bit of money, 41.3k. I guess I felt the need we needed to, and I touched on that in some of the transfers we made. Then followed by Hamilton Wanderers, who finished second on the chart there, 17k. And if in terms of salary, we are down 11th though. So we're only paying about 52,000 a year on salaries. So that's way down there, almost the lowest in the league. So that's not too bad. We'll go back to the overview here, and we'll just have a look at some of these player stats. So for goals of the season, Nicky Sudgeon came third with 12, and Tim Rule 5th with 11. So 2 of our strikers are in the top 5. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, there was a new partnership. It was kind of split between Suggy and Ocado with Tim Rule, and so I think we did struggle a little bit there. But that's fine. I'm pretty happy. Average ratings, we dominate though in the top 3 here, with Kangaroo 7.69, then Mitchell 7.42, and Tim Rule 7.34. Assists, Kangaroo 11 assists, topping that chart. Player of the match awards, it was the most for the season was Kangaroo with 8, well and truly ahead of second place. if we look at the clean sheets here, Dylan Bennett, 10 clean sheets for the season. That's only just second by 2, so it's not too bad. It's a pretty good little bit of defensiveness, really. I'm going to not just claim him. I mean, he was the last man standing, but I think our defense really improved as well towards the end of the season. And there's some management movements there. I don't believe there's anything else we need to touch on. We'll just have a look at the past winners, and you'll see our name is back in lights there. Runners up with Glenfield and East Coast Bays. It's been a while since we won it, so I'm pretty happy. Let's have a look at the records just for modern day. I'll just have a look at this season here. Just for overall records, I'll just let you have a squiz there. So lowest attendance was North Shore United, 126. Again, most games run in a row, 9 from February to May. That's pretty good run there. And where else are we? We know we're really Cangrid for North Shore United, most player of the match awards for this season. That's pretty cool. Overall, or modern day. Okay, so most points in the season. So we picked up 51 points this season, and we managed to break the record. So we've got the most points in the season, 51. Well done. Fewest defeats. So we held that record 3 for this season. 3 defeats for us. Right. Anything else? North Shore United versus Hamilton Wanderers was the lowest attendance. This was a pity, which we mentioned that anyway. North Shore United most games run in a row, which we've touched on, 9. We go to player records. Cangrid there, most assists with 11. And Cangrid again for 18 appearances, the highest average rating, and also the most player of the match awards. So a very, very productive season for North Shore United. So I'm extremely happy with that. I don't think there's anything else we need to touch on. What we'll do is we'll just show back here. So the season's over, 22 games. So we beat Glenfield in the end by, 9 points. It was really the deciding game was that game against Mangarewa, where we managed to pull the win out there, and at the same time Glenfield dropped points. That was decisive. I mean, that was the title clinching match, but that was very decisive. So yeah, much of the season Glenfield weren't able to retain their title. We did instead. We took it off them, and now the work begins to try and build. Hopefully get my guys back on loan who are here on loan, and strengthen a bit more, and also get a bit more depth and push on and try and retain this. But the immediate target for me is to win the Chatham Cup. So that is the season review. Anything happens in the Chatham Cup, I'll add into it later, and then we'll touch base with the season preview. So we'll just call this the summertime. All right, folks.